Armstrong Street Scene 7th anniversary car and custom bike show. Hi, I'm Rick Guerrero, along with
Krista Sylvester,
our co-host. Every year we've had Krista here, and what a great job she does.
Almost every year. I think I missed one year.
Yeah, you did.
But I think this is
year.
my 5th or 6th time doing this.
Yeah.
And I love it. It's so much fun.
Yes.
So thank you for having me, come back here and allowing me to be part of this great event that benefits the Second Harvest Food Bank in Mahoning County. And, it's so awesome. And this year, the weather's been perfect. We've got a breeze,
it's
thank
like
God.
80 degrees today. It's perfect out there, yeah.
It is. And, of course, some really unique vehicles this time.
Oh, yeah. And we're in front of Chili's here in Boardman.
Yes, we are.
Chili's donated a lot to us, and that's what we're doing out here today. What a great day. What a great day. And Chris had come in from Naples, Florida.
I did, and actually, I'm still in Naples. I still have things that I'm doing in Naples, but I'm actually going to be up in the Pittsburgh area now.
You're going to be living up here?
I'm going to be living up here, selling commercial real estate.
Are you going to be a Steeler fan?
Well, I think it comes with the territory, doesn't it?
It better. You're right in deep heart of the Steeler fan.
That's right. And I finally brought my car for the first time
what a beautiful...
since I've been at this show. I was able to bring my car because she made her last voyage up here from down south.
What is that?
It's a Maserati.
What year?
2014 Ghibli, and it's not stock, of course, which anyone that knows me knows I don't leave anything stock. The poor gentleman, Bobby at Fairway Ford that sold me my truck was just, he was out of his mind because we didn't even drive it off the lot yet, and my father, my brother, and I were standing there saying the things that we were going to do to it, and he goes, "You haven't even left the lot yet." Well, it's just
So how many horsepower are you pushing that thing?
Well, a little bit more than standard, I could say, and then actually the gentleman that does my tune-up in New Jersey, his name is Enzo, and which is oddly enough the name of my car.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, not the name of my car, the name of my dog.
Well, a lot of it's Ferrari too, right?
Of course, right.
Okay.
But he actually contacted me and he goes, "Hey, if you want a little bit more power, I just reformatted the tune, and if you send me your chip, I'll redo it." And I was like, "Ooh." I was like, "More power." Yes.
Sounds good. Hey, you know what, Chris? I think it's time for us to go inside and check out some of these cars.
Absolutely. Let's go in and check it out.
Let's go in and check it out. Feature car today is a '64 Thunderbird convertible owned by Bill Fazone from Poland, right?
Right, absolutely.
Beautiful.
Thank you. First off, I want to thank Armstrong and all of you for giving us the privilege of showcasing our car here today, so I wanted to start with that.
Bill, you probably heard me say this before, Bill is the reason why I don't have any money in my pockets anymore. A couple of years ago, Bill come through here, and I fell in love with his car. A month later, I had one.
Yeah.
Which isn't running today.
So that's what happened, huh?
Guess what? Yeah, I will say, misery does love company. So welcome to the club. Yeah.
But it's beautiful misery.
Well,
I mean, this thing,
it's
misery comes in all forms. But this is a fantastic vehicle.
Thank you very much. It's a love-hate relationship with these cars. You ask any of them that own them. But we redid the car this year, or over last year, had it repainted. And
the original color?
Original color. It was white. It was Wimbledon white, supposedly, but it was a little more yellowish than the true Wimbledon white, so I had it redone. And it's kind of funny. It started out as just, hey, I wanted to get the engine bay shot and the door jambs. I wasn't crazy about them. So that turned into, oh, what the heck, let's just do the whole car. And, well, since we're doing that, hey, let's rebuild the engine.
Dominoes, dominoes.
So I said, once the engine, I don't ever want to take this thing out, so you better get that done too. So that's where we ended up. But we enjoy it. My wife and I enjoyed this car immensely. We spend a lot of time in it. It's kind of our summer cruiser.
You know what's nice about these cars? You very seldom see them. You may see a couple of the hardtops around, but
Right.
how often do you see the convertibles?
Yeah, very rare. There aren't too many. There aren't too many here. We got it out of Connecticut, actually, and believe it or not, we went up there. It was, online. It was like 6 years ago, I said. And there were actually two 1964 Thunderbirds. It was up around Hartford, Connecticut. There were two of them, white. One was this one black, and the other one had blue interior. And they were within like 15 minutes of each other. So what are the odds of that?
Yeah.
You know, and obviously we took this one, and 6 years later, here we are.
And also, what are the odds? You know, this car's got a little bit of history to it.
Yes,
and it says that it was the actual Thunderbird that was displayed at the 1964 Philadelphia Auto Show. I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah, that was one of the unique pieces that of the history of the car that we found. I actually didn't realize until after I bought it and discovered that the original build sheet or with a tag sheet from Ford was, I think there's a copy of it I have actually
Yeah,
here.
$4,258.
Yeah, that was right. You know, it is what it is, but it's a beautiful car that we love the lines. It just looks sleek, and that's really what drew us to it.
I was going to ask you that. I mean, what made you do all the searching and find this exact one? What was your motive?
It was we wanted a nice cruiser, and we started out. Actually, I was looking for a '60 Thunderbird, and
Those are nice.
those were nice too. And I actually went. My God, I went to Baltimore to look at one. You know, so I mean, we were serious about doing it. But then we were looking on. I says, we looked up the '63s, etc. And then we saw this one. I says, we fell in love with the look of the car, the lines, and it just looks so sleek.
Don't
And
you love the back seat the way it's
Oh,
like
yeah,
a couch back
right.
there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, that's great.
And this was really their first year. '64 was when they went into what they would call like their personal luxury car. You know, they changed the image way more from the sportiness, more into personal luxury. So, thus the curved seats and everything. This was what they called welcome to the jet age. So if you look at the car, just the aluminum trim that runs down, if you see, it kind of looks like you get back at the fin that folds up, almost like a jet. The gauges were everything was based on airplane. If you look at all the toggles and everything.
You have a tonneau cover for this too, right?
Yes, I do.
Which makes it into a roadster.
Makes it into a two-seat roadster. So, which really gives it a whole nother look too. So as you know, you have.
That's what mine. I haven't taken mine off yet. I love that look.
It's a great look.
It is a great. Makes the car look like it's 30 feet longer.
Mine's 19 feet long. I have the Continental kit on the back too. Oh my God!
Yeah, it just goes forever. A guy that when he did my car, and he's like, called me one day because I swear this car grows 2 feet a day.
How often you see a '64 car with air conditioning, a convertible with air conditioning, which is pretty rare.
That was rare.
Yeah.
She had AC and it works. So it's all good. We never use
What's
it.
great about that, people say, what do you need air conditioning for when you got a convertible top? I'll tell you, my car, I have the top down, I have the air on, or when it's real cold, I have the top down, I have the heater on. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to tell you, it's and there actually comes a point where it's sometimes so hot outside with the tops down, especially with black interior.
Right.
You're melting in there, so
Right.
any cool breeze is appreciated. So
Especially when you're sitting at a stoplight, you can't. It actually, just from the write-up here, it's got a lot of bells and whistles to it. And the write-up said, and I loved this line, it said limousine elegance.
yeah,
That was what was used by Ford to describe this vehicle, and I mean, it's
it
great.
was. It was. If you look at, consider 1964, and again the AC it has power seat, but it's got the safety convenience panel. And low fuel warning light, door jar light, four-way flashers. For back then it was pretty. Even the emergency brake. You set the emergency brake when you put the car in gear, it automatically releases. Yeah. So it was kind of surprising some of the things that they had for that far back in the day. People love seeing these, and it brings back some great memories. And that in itself is just amazing. We enjoy that.
Well, I have to say, as a younger generation and seeing the vehicles and how they're changing, they don't make them like they used to, and all the fine details from the stitching to the body lines, you just don't see it.
Right.
I say this all the time, and I don't mean to offend anybody, but a lot of the new cars today, they look like eggs.
Yeah.
They look like eggs. They're just around, and I understand for aerodynamic purposes, but
Right.
sometimes, you want something you can really look at and you can really enjoy, and just all the fine details on this, that they don't make them like that anymore.
Right.
You gotta
It's like,
appreciate it.
so people look at the interior. There's no plastic.
Right.
Everything's metal.
Right.
You know what I don't like about the new cars? I don't like the black series. Everything's black. Everything's black. I love the chrome.
Yeah.
Look at all the chrome on it.
It's
It
beautiful.
just pops. It
It's,
pops.
it's blinding.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you get the new cars and they're all black, and you go, oh, okay. I got this thing about the black.
All
series.
black
I don't-
cars
I
look
know
good
what you
until
mean.
they get dirty.
Yeah, oh,
And then
yeah.
it's like, I'm Krista Sylvester here at the Armstrong Street Scene Car and Custom Bike Show with, introduce yourself.
Glenn Stevens, nice to be here.
Glenn, I think a lot of people know who you are, but I didn't think they knew that you were so involved with the Corvette Club. So tell us about it.
Yeah, Mahoning Valley Corvettes. We were formed in 1962, and we're now up to about 112, 115 members. And so the guys always get together. We go to car shows. We do one day trips. We'll head out to a winery or we'll go to a museum. But we always come to the Armstrong show, though.
Yes, and that's why we wanted to come over here and talk to you, because you're such a big supporter, which is fantastic. And you've brought quite a nice array of cars, different years, different models. Tell me why you got involved with Corvettes. Have you always just been a fan since you were a kid, or?
Yeah, I mean, I had Corvettes back when I was single, and then I got married and had a family, and they sort of went away. And then when I became an empty nester, I thought, I'm going to go back and get another Corvette. So got that, and then I hooked up with the Mahoning Valley Corvettes, which is a great club. They do a lot of good charity work around the valley, and a great group of guys and gals. We have a lot of girls that are Corvette owners, so it's a good group.
So if I decided to buy a Corvette, I could join?
Absolutely, yeah. We might even waive the fee.
And how can people get involved? You said that you do some charity work, and obviously there's some people that really appreciate Corvette. So how can they get involved with it?
And well, we're on Facebook. We have Facebook, and we have our own Mahoning Valley Corvettes webpage. They can go on there, find out about our meetings, look at our calendar, all the things that are coming up for the rest of the summer and into the fall, learn about the membership, and we'd be happy to have them on. And you don't even have to own a Corvette. You can just be an enthusiast and hopefully get a Corvette someday. But yeah, we welcome all.
That sounds great. Well, thank you so much. It was great talking with you. And thanks for coming out and supporting it. All right, we're here at the Armstrong Street Scene Car and Custom Bike Show at Chili's in Boardman. It's a beautiful day, and I'm here with Chuck. Chuck, I saw this bike from over there, and I was like, what is that? Just all this chrome and all these sharp edges. I mean, it's awesome. It's just, tell me about it. First off, you said you just got it a little bit ago?
A couple months ago, I just picked it up off of somebody local around here.
Really?
Yes. I've been wanting one, and he decided to sell it, so I said I'm buying it.
Where did you find it? Where do you have it listed at?
It was in Poland.
Okay.
Yeah, he was in Poland. I've known the kid for about 9 years, and he decided to sell, and I said, I'm buying it.
Now, did you buy it because it reminds me of almost like a Dracula. If Dracula had a bike, it would kind of look like this. It's all these, it almost has a medieval look, you know.
It's all tribal. They call it tribal look. Yep.
It's gorgeous.
Yep. No, I just liked the design, and I wanted a chopper, something that was stretched out, and something that was unique and different. That's just not a normal tank or anything that was normal.
There's not too much that's normal about it. I mean, even your detail back here, you've got your big fat end back here. Now, what type, can you tell me a little bit about the specifications? I know you said you didn't know too much, but some basic things.
The only thing is it's a redneck rocket frame. There's real no name to the actual bike. It's got a 127 Ultima motor with a 6-speed trans. It's pushing 140 horsepower, maybe about a 62-inch rake on the front. It's got a 300 tire in the back, custom alligator seat, and it's all tribal scheme with all the pointed stuff and everything. So it's fast and loud bike.
I was going to say, just from what you described, it's got to move and it's got to be pretty quick. So aside from the way that it looks, if they didn't see you coming, they're going to hear you coming.
Exactly. Yeah, it's loud. It's very loud.
Now, what made you want to bring it out today?
For the show, just to show it off, and I was debating between this and I have a custom street glide too, so I was debating between the two. So I decided I'm gonna bring the chopper today.
You should have brought this Ubered and gone and got
I get the other one. I would have brought them both, but.
Now this is fantastic. I'm really glad that you brought it out. Are you going to keep it local, do you think? Or I feel like you could really take some trips on this thing too.
No trips.
No trips.
Nope. This is a go around town bike. It ain't a long haul. Few hours a day and you're about done. You're beat up. There's no shocks on it or nothing. It's just straight frame and you get beat up.
So maybe you need a little bit more padding on that seat.
Yeah, the seat ain't gonna do it. It's just it's just a round town bike. As they say, a bar hopper.
Well, you know what? It's a darn good looking bar hopper. So thank you very much and congratulations.
With me, I'm talking with Larry Fournier from Poland, Ohio, with a 71 Monte Carlo.
71 Monte Carlo.
How long have you owned her, Larry?
I've had it probably 30 years, probably.
What you do to her?
The back half's chassis, and it's got a 461 Rick Sarger motor in it.
Mm-hmm. How's that run for you?
Good.
It looks like it.
It has an Ambrosi automatic in it.
Uh-huh. Sounds good. What have you done to it?
I put the motor in.
What would it come with?
It originally had a 350 in it.
350, okay.
Originally 350 motor automatic on the column.
Okay.
I put an automatic on the floor. It's got a Chevy 12 bolt in it with 373 gears.
This thing moves, huh?
Oh yeah, it moves.
You got to with those big tires you got in the back there. How big are those things?
21 and a half inches wide.
Wow. Wow.
21 and a half.
That's a good tire there.
Oh yeah.
Can you spin them?
Oh yeah, it can spin them off. Oh yeah.
Great.
Spin them.
So where's this car from?
Originally from Florida.
Uh-huh.
Originally a Florida car. I bought it down on the other side of Dover, Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I bought it. I drove it home.
You drove it home?
Drove it home. Not painted and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
So,
looks good. Did a nice job on it.
It's the original couch and painted and stuff.
Uh-huh.
So, a lot of work.
Yeah, oh yeah, they're all a lot of work and a lot of money.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, a lot of work and a lot of money.
All right, I'm here with Lou, and Lou, you brought out something different this year. I've interviewed you a couple times before, and this is a Ford Wild Ride. I gotta say, I'm not versed on this car, but it's pretty awesome looking. Tell me, why did you change? Or did you keep your other ones?
Yeah, well, I still got a drag race car in Fort Myers where I live, but up here I wanted to get something a little bit different. I got tired of drag racing, so I thought, let me just get a good street car. But I didn't want the average Camaro Chevelle Nova. I said I want something that's a street rod. There's a few of them around, but not a whole lot. And this is an all custom built fiberglass body. It's built by Wild Rides, special frame. Everything on it's completely different than an average 39 Ford. You know what I mean? Curry 9-inch Ford rear end, it's all custom interior and stuff. Has a chrome 350 small block Chevy engine in it. But if you put it next to a regular 39 Ford, it'll look completely different. Because these are all chopped, channeled, lengthened, pinched and stuff. They're just a complete different car, but wanted something different to cruise in town with,
I'll tell you what, this is a head turner.
It is.
I mean, this is a head turner, and I love when they're chopped. I love the painting, and you've got the simple pinstriping, but then it brings it back to the flame. You've got a lot of small details on this that just make it just stand out.
Riddler wheels on it, and it also has a top. It has a hard top that bolts on, so you can make it not a coupe actually, but you can make it a hard top or the Roadster. So if the weather's a little odd, you can put the top on, bolt the roof on it, or leave it as a Roadster like it is today. The weather up here, you gotta have both because you don't never know what's gonna rain.
It's always a guessing game here in Ohio. Now, how long have you had it?
I just actually bought it this summer, what I did. Yeah, when I came home from Florida for the summer, I said, no more drag cars. I'm buying me a nice street rod to run up here so I can go to all the shows. And I found that it was out of a collection in Maryland that a guy had 57 cars and died. The cars was built about 12 years ago, but it's only got 2,000 miles on it. I mean, it's still like new. I changed the wheels and the tires on it to bring it more up to date, but everything else you see is just the way it was when it was built. So, but it's what I wanted, and I finally found one. So
Finally found one after all this time. So that probably means you're going to be holding on to it for a while.
Yeah, I don't think I'll sell it anytime soon.
How about the other ones?
Well, you know what? A drag car's always for sale. I buy them, rebuild them, race them, and sell them. So this I'll keep, though. I think I'll hang on to this for a while. So.
Yeah, she's a real looker. I mean, this is great, and good luck with it. Enjoy it. I hope to see you riding around. Yeah, I got a question though. The way that these cars handle and the way that they absorb, our roads aren't exactly the best. Yeah. So how's the ride quality on it?
Not really bad. I mean, it's got, some of them have air ride. This has all 4-corner coil-over shocks. Everything's chromed. The whole underneath of the car is painted just like the top. It's all base coat, clear coat underneath. It's as nice underneath as it is on top. But, it has all Mustang 2 front suspension with coilovers. Curry, like I said, a Curry 9-inch Ford rear coilovers. And they're a little stiff. They're not a real cushiony ride. So, yeah, when you're on the bad roads, it's not the most comfortable thing for taking bumps, but you kind of try to go around them. But really, for what it is, though, it doesn't ride bad. It rides a whole lot better than you actually think it would, But hey, when you got something that looks like this, you got to sacrifice a little bit.
That's right. And you got to drive it. You got to let everybody fall in love with it like you did. Well, thank you so much. It's a great looking car, and good luck with it.
Appreciate it. I always bring you nice stuff.
You might not recognize this mug, but you recognize his photographs on everywhere. Everywhere you see him on Cruising Times Magazine.
Yes.
He's the main photographer from the new Cruising Times Magazine. How's it going, Joe Secca?
Doing good.
Where are you from,
Doing
Joe?
good. Mineral Ridge right
Mineral
now.
Ridge?
Grew up in Austin Town, and so still local guy.
Good. Every time you see a picture of it, it's nice. They're very nice. You do some beautiful work.
Oh, thank you. I try to.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
You're at all the shows all around here. And
Pretty much all over. I never really picked up a camera and chased cars till I was in my 50s. But
It's your passion now,
it's
huh?
my passion now.
Right.
No hunting, bowling, golfing, fishing, cars and camera.
So how'd you get hooked up with Cruising Times?
Well, I had known John Shapiro for quite a while, and then he was looking for somebody else, and so we had a chat and met up in Streetsboro. John used to love his hamburgers, and we'd sit there and chat sometimes for couple of hours, and so here I am.
We had John on air before. He passed on there. He passed on a couple years ago, but his son took over
Yes,
the
Andy.
Persian Times. And
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I ran into him at Heritage Days the other day up in Greenville, and I was talking to him. I said, John, this magazine looks great. Usually somebody else who gets the magazine after the first one, it's not as good.
Yep.
But it's just really
Yep.
nice.
Yep. He's applied some of his own ideas, but it still continues with the theme of the car is just part of people's lives, and it's an important part.
Sure.
So absolutely, we've tried to just continue that.
He's got more writing. He's got more photos than John
Yeah,
Senior
yeah.
had. John was into the writing stuff.
Yes,
and all that.
John was more of composing the stories and creating that. I do a lot of the writing for Cruising Times now, so we're picking it up that way and doing what we can to promote the sport.
All right, so I'm here with Mike, and Mike, this is a 69 Ford Fairlane. I keep saying 63. I don't know why. I saw this thing from way over there, and I got to say, I'm a track car girl, and I like everything that goes into them and those big fat slicks on the back. Where have you taken this? I mean, is this your race car?
It is, and actually the car has never gone out to the track at all. The only time it was ever on the track is when we did the filming for the car. And we did have it on the track then, but it was no time thing. It was just something to go out and do. And but I'm looking forward to getting it out to the track. Yeah.
Was it a thrill? I mean, did you really get to test it out?
Drag racing is a thrill, and so yeah, it's in my blood, and it will be at the track.
Okay.
So as soon as we get all the bugs worked out, we'll get it out.
Okay, so aside from the bugs, tell me what it's got in it. What are we looking at here with this race car?
It's a full chrome ollie car. It's got Ford 9-inch, fabricated 9-inch. It's got a 428 with the C6. It should run pretty good.
What do you think?
You know what? 9-second car. It's a full-bodied car. So
It's still pretty good.
Yeah, we'll shoot for 9s. And that's a street car, so, something to be able to take grandkids out and have fun.
I imagine when you fire it up, you probably wake the neighbors up. So you probably have to, choose the timing when you're working on it. When
The neighbors up this morning pulling out in the garage, but that's all right. They understand.
Absolutely. I had a place down in Florida. I was living down in Florida, and you don't see these. And I swear, one of the reasons why, aside from the salt air, is because they're so noisy, and everybody just complains. But you know what? You bring them up here, we like that. We like a little bit of that.
I love noise. So yeah.
Now, how long have you had this specific one, and is this your only race car, or do you have more?
It's my only race car, and I've had this car for 32 years. It is my first child.
So it's got a little bit of history. So what made you want to get a Fairlane aside from anything else?
Being a diehard Ford man, this is probably one of my favorite. So yeah.
Why is it your favorite?
There's not many of them. Other Fords, there's plenty of them all over, and everybody's got one. You ain't gonna find too many of these.
Very true. Well, I mean, it looks fantastic. I hope it runs fantastic. Hope you get the bugs out of it, right?
We will. We will.
And I'm excited, and maybe you should keep us posted and let us know, what it ends up running on the track.
I will let you know.
With me, I have Greg Bolin from Struthers, Ohio, in his '53 Buick Special.
That's correct.
What a tank, huh?
Oh, it's a beast.
Oh my God, this
No
thing,
doubt.
it's a beauty though, huh?
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Uh-huh.
It's all for being almost all original.
Yeah.
There's not too many of them out here like this, I'll tell you that.
This car's as old as me, you know that. It's probably healthier than me too. So.
I don't know. It has its days.
Can you find parts for it?
You can still find parts.
It doesn't look like you need much though.
No.
Like a motor part or something like that, engine
Nah.
part? No?
Everything's pretty original on this car from when it was made.
Mm-hmm.
The stainless, the chrome is even original on it.
Wow.
It's it was repainted in '79, and
So that's lacquer then?
yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Held up nice.
Oh, it's beautiful. It
Nice
came out
car.
beautiful, yeah. And
I see you got it all pinstriped. Who did that?
Guy Shively, he's the man. If you want a pinstripe, he does awesome work.
Man, he's done work for me a few times.
Oh yeah, he's
He
good.
does really good.
Definitely.
He's from Austin town, so he's right around the corner. He does a
Yep.
lot of the pinstriping around here.
Oh yeah.
Under the hood, what do we got here?
It's a straight 8, 263, single carburetor.
How many horsepower?
Oh boy, it probably has around 90 or so horse. Yeah.
He's had a lot of torque though, probably. Huh?
Oh my goodness, that
Yeah.
thing! You get it on the turnpike and go 90 mile an hour in it, and it just feels like you're
Smooth.
floating.
Yeah. What do we got over here? Look at over here. We got 2 filters here. This blue one would be what?
That's for the oil filter.
And what is that? Like a canister goes in there?
Yeah, a little canister slides down in there, so you don't have to get under the car to really change the oil.
Okay.
And then the oil bath air cleaner. And yeah, it's nice riding. It's so easy to work on. It really is. The spark plugs are right there, and you can basically get to everything.
So
you know.
so this is the Buick Special.
Right.
And this model here, how many models did they make of this? What style?
Oh, they had 4 different styles of this car. I'm not sure how many were made of the Special. This was actually the lower end of the Buick.
So this is the lower end of the Buick. This big boat here, it looks like a big luxury car.
Right.
You know?
Oh, it's a luxury car
And
still.
what were the other ones?
The Roadmaster, the Skylark,
What was the big one?
the Riviera.
The Riviera, okay.
The Riviera
that was the one with the wide open fenders, right?
They had 4 portholes in the upper models.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're that's a heck of a car. Heavy,
yeah.
heavy
Yes, it
car,
is.
heavy,
How'd
lot
you
of
come
weight.
across this?
I found this on Craigslist. It was posted for 40 minutes, and I called the guy right away. And he was from Kirtland, Ohio, up near Cleveland. And me and my buddy Mark with the 48 went to see it. And the underside of the car, we both got under it, and he looked at me and I looked at him, and he was like, "Oh my gosh," you know, because the car underneath is so clean. The car came from Georgia originally to Kirtland, and then it was in a heated garage for 20 years. Stored in a heated garage, yeah, for 20 years.
Wow.
And then I bought it off the guy, and it's been in my garage for 5 years now. So.
Fun car. Looks fun.
Oh, yeah, it's fun.
Big back seats in these things. Isn't it?
Big back seats, no doubt.
We're the Mahoning Valley Corvettes, and you're watching Street Scene.
So it moves pretty well.
It moves pretty well. It's pretty squirrely, yeah.
Pretty squirrely.
You're basically the first owner then.
Yes, the car was never titled. It was owned by another dealership in Indiana.
I don't do whole shots in it because it's 50-some years old.
Yeah.
But once I get going about 5 miles an hour, I'll stand on it, and that's fun.
Up next, we have some great information from the Ohio State Patrol on tech tips. Today we are honored to have some of Ohio's finest State Highway Patrol officers. We have Emma Sweat and Officer Eric Brown with us today. Thank you for coming to Street Scene.
Thanks for having us.
We got a lot of questions to ask you today. Hopefully we can help out all our car hobbies out there and motorcycle guys out there. There's a lot of questions these guys have and they're not sure about, especially sometimes they come from Pennsylvania to Ohio, and a lot of guys in Ohio do things that they're not sure of, So, let's start out from the back of the car and we'll go to the front, okay? Let's start out with license plates. Okay, we got a variety of license plates. Ohio has the Street Rod Antique Classic and historical plates. What can you tell us about these plates?
In regards to those plates, they're the most common one that you're going to encounter with the street rods and the people that are in the car community, classic car community, are the historical plates. Ohio permits you to have a historical plate. It's a one-time renewal. If you were to renew that plate today, it's good until the year 2050.
2050.
I believe it's like a $40 fee.
Is that an annual fee, $40?
No, it's a one-time upfront fee. The common misconception with those type of plates are A lot of times people think that, hey, I'm going to go down to the BMV, I'm going to pay a $40 fee, and I got these plates until the year 2050. You know, compared to renewing a vehicle registration at the current prices every year and paying a lot more money. So with that historical plate, the stipulations are that it is to be used only for parades, car shows, car events, things of that nature. You're not to be out, you know, going for a Sunday drive or taking it to the grocery store. Let's say if it's a pickup truck, you're going to pull a boat to the lake in the summertime, then you're in violation of that historical plate law.
How strict are you guys with those?
It depends. You know, one thing that you're probably going to hear me say several times is that, you know, there's discretion. You know, the Ohio Revised Code it's pretty much black and white. There are some gray areas in there, but it depends on the officer. It depends on the circumstances, and you know that's one thing that's great about this profession is that you do have discretion. So you might stop somebody, say, hey, what do you know out there? You know, listen to their story of what they're doing, but you know, if someone's in clear violation of it. You know, sometimes, you know, they will be issued a citation.
All right. How do you know what plate goes on what car? Say I got a street rod, it's all, you know, souped up and everything, and I got a historical plate on it.
Okay.
How would you know? You know, how would you know which one to put on there?
Well, that depends on you, how you want to register it. So if you could register, you can just go down and get a regular Ohio license plate, or if you want to, you know, let's say that you only drive that street rod to a function, and you might want to put a historical plate on there. Sometimes you'll see guys also go to, you know, let's say the Canfield swap meet. They want to buy, let's say they have a 69 Chevelle, and they're going to put a 1969 authentic Ohio plate on that vehicle. They can purchase that plate from a vendor or a, you know, somebody that's selling it, and they can go fill out paperwork with the Muir Motor Vehicles and then register that specific year, 1969, to that Chevy Chevelle.
Right. Do they? I understand that you need a front plate to do that.
Typically, it's only one plate. Like your historical plates are one. Ohio does have, when you register a vehicle with just normal license plates, it's 2 plates. But your historical plates are only going to be one.
That's good. If you have any questions on this, is there someone we can call?
You can call the Bureau of Motor Vehicles. They're in charge of handling all the licensing of vehicles, the registration. So that, or look them up online. You know, there's a lot of information that's available on the web.
Hey, look who I ran into today. I usually see Dick up at the Quaker Steak and Lube in Austintown every, Sunday night?
Every Sunday night, yep.
You guys pull them in up there, don't you?
Yeah, 400 or 500 a night.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, it's
that's
great.
How long have you been doing that?
This is our 13th season there.
We've been there, Street Scene's been there a couple times.
Yes, you have. Yes, you have.
That's nice. That's a nice show.
Thank you.
Very nice show. You guys do a good job up there.
It's all about charity.
Sure.
You know, everything.
What charity is it?
We call it Shops with the Firemen. And I get names, local families, through the guidance counselors of the Austintown schools. So we know we go to really, truly needy families with everything. So.
Good.
Yep.
Good. Hopefully we're going to get up there after this show.
Good. Love to see you.
That's what time? Sundays or what time?
5 o'clock.
5 till what? Till
8.
Till
5 to
8.
8. Yep.
Okay. A lot of guys leave earlier though.
Yes, they do.
They got to be in bed by a certain time, I think.
You can't get dew on your car.
Oh yeah. Oh, is that it?
right, I'm here with Wilbur, and Wilbur, I have to say, this is a 32, and I love this car. This is one of my dad's favorite hot rods, and every time I see one, I get really excited, and he's not here yet, but this screaming orange and everything, it just jumped right out at me, so I had to come over and ask you about it. So I understand it took you a couple years to build. Why don't you tell us about it?
Yeah, it took us 4 years. This is all home built at home. Chassis was built at home, body, engine, everything. It's a family thing. It's a group thing. Friends, family.
I understand that completely. We're a family of motorheads as well. So what made you want to choose this make and model?
Well, my nephew and I got together, and we both decided we wanted to build 2 cars and build them close, but yet not close. His has got a Chevy motor. This is all Ford, of course. We stay true to Ford. It's a 5-speed manual shift, so we always say if it don't have 3 pedals, it's not a hot rod. So
this is true, and I gotta say that's a hefty looking engine. What's she putting out?
that's a 408 Ford stroker motor. It's putting about 460 horsepower out.
Okay. So it moves.
Pardon?
So it moves pretty well.
It moves pretty well. It's pretty squirrely, yeah.
Pretty squirrely, even with those tires in the back. Now, was this kind of the color that, what inspired you to do this screaming orange color? I mean, it really just jumps out at you as if the car itself doesn't.
Well, there's a story behind that. My nephew was going to do orange. He didn't know whether he was going to do orange or yellow. So he decided to go yellow, and I always loved orange. Ever since I was little, I always liked orange cars, so I went with the orange.
It's beautiful. I love it. Now, are you going to hold on to it for a while, you think?
Yeah, we're going to keep it for a couple years here. My nephew gets his done next year. We want to do a lot of shows together and parade them side by side and have some fun with them.
I think that's going to be fantastic. And do you bring it to a lot of shows locally? Can we see you somewhere else, or are you pretty much exclusive to here?
No, we whenever it's not raining, we get it out. When it's raining, we can't get it out. We did the Boardman in the Park show down the street. Took Best of Show for Modified for that last year. So first year out last year, so it done pretty good.
Very nice. Well, it's beautiful, and I appreciate that your family has a passion, for things like this. I think it's something that's I think it's going away. I think a lot of, even in my generation, everybody says we always buy the new cars and we don't put any work into them. So when you see something like this that really takes, some hands-on work and a little bit of love and labor, I can appreciate it. So thank you for bringing it out.
With me, I have Rich Flowers from Raccoon Township over in Pennsylvania way, around what? Where's that near, Rich?
Shippingport, Midland, Pennsylvania.
So you got like a nice hour drive, huh?
Yes, I do.
Wow. And you cruised along in this, 1970 LTD XL 429.
Yes.
That's this baby moves, huh?
It goes okay, yeah.
Uh-huh. How long have you had her?
I bought it in 1989 off the original owner.
Oh, nice. That's when you bought it?
Yes.
89?
Yes.
Oh, gosh, you've had this thing, 40 years?
Yes.
My arithmetic okay?
Yes.
I'm not very good at math, but I guessed at that one, I guess. It's a beauty. What have you done to her?
Pretty much everything's been redone. I redid all the drivetrain in it a couple years ago. And of course, it's been repainted and different wheels and tires. And
that's got to be the original color, because I had a Cougar, the same color.
Morning gold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got like green in it and everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah. Yep. Go ahead. And this is the XL. What's the
yes.
XL mean?
It was only a 3-year model. They only made them 68, 69, and 70. You could only get them in the 2-door hardtop convertible or the 2-door convertible. And they were bucket seats.
Bucket seats. Is
console.
that part of the XL package?
It was an option in the XL package. Okay. It wasn't a standard thing, but.
And this baby, the best part's under the hood, huh?
I think so. Yeah.
Let's check it out. Let's check it out. What is that? 429.
Yes.
It comes stock with a 429, but Greg
yes.
says this isn't the original one.
Right. It was an original 429 car, but this is like a 71 block that I've redone.
So what are we pushing in there? How many horsepower?
Around 500.
That's not bad.
No, well, you need it in a car this size.
Yeah,
though,
you
right?
sure do. You sure do. This is a beauty.
Thank you.
This is a beauty. So is it an everyday driver for you?
Not every day. Comes out on nice days. Go to local car shows.
Got the hideaway headlights on here, which are
yes.
nice. Man, those on my Cougar too. They work okay. They're vacuum, right?
Yeah, vacuum to open.
Yeah.
Or
Sometimes
vacuum to close, sorry. They're spring to open.
Sometimes they're a pain in the butt, you know?
Yeah.
You get a little hole somewhere, they don't work right.
Right.
Mine used to, if I sit in my car for a couple of days, they would open up.
Yeah, this does the same thing. Yeah, when you lose the vacuum, they'll open up.
You're watching Street Scenes. Stay vigilant.
We're here on this beautiful day at the Armstrong Street Scene Car and Custom Bike Show, and I'm here with Marty, and Marty's got a pretty awesome GTO. Tell me about it, Marty.
I've had it for 15 years. It's a 67 GTO, the original color. Everything on it has to be period correct or it's not going to be on there. I got power disc brakes on the front. That was an option that year, so that's why I put them on there, because the old drum brakes, I always said you got to make a reservation to make an emergency stop with those.
That's what I've heard. I've heard that about them. I've never actually driven a car with drum brakes, but my father kind of got me into cars, and he would teach me a little bit about it, and he goes, yeah, you need to stop about 25 minutes before you actually want to stop.
Absolutely. And it has a manual transmission, a lot of fun to drive. I don't do whole shots in it because it's 50-some years old.
Yeah.
But once I get going about 5 miles an hour, I'll stand on it, and that's fun.
Okay. See, I knew so. You seem a little shy, but then I see. So it takes you a second to get started, and then you're like, I'm going to let her rip.
I just had to get my mouth going.
I appreciate that. So what made you choose a GTO? You know, it's one of those. It's a classic. You know, when you think of hot rods, a GTO is always one that comes to mind.
This is a 1967. I was 16 years old, and I thought that was the prettiest car ever made, and I still think it's in the top 5. It's what I wanted, and I didn't get it until 50 or so, 55. And my wife said, why you, and it took me 2 years to find it. My wife said, why don't you just go buy a new sports car? I said, that's not what I'm looking for. I said, if I buy this right, it's going to appreciate. I said, as soon as I buy a new one, which I'm not going to like as much anyhow, it's going to start depreciating. It's just a hobby.
A really fun, semi-expensive, but worth it hobby.
Yeah, it could get a little pricey.
So I said semi-expensive. I guess it just depends, but no. I mean, this is fantastic. Now, so does your wife like it, or does she still think you should have gotten it?
A couple months after I got it, after I was waxing it every 3 days in the garage, and I was doing stuff to it, she said, I am so glad you bought that thing. You're really enjoying it. Oh. Now, she has since passed on, but yeah, now both my boys want it, and I don't know what to do with it. I can't split it in half.
No, you can't saw it in half. So who's the favorite? What's going to happen?
I don't know what I'm going to do with that. I guess they could fight it out when I'm gone. I don't know. I warned both of them. If this causes any grief between you two, and I don't think it will, I will torch this thing before you guys start getting into a fight.
Or, so I've heard, I've heard about guys, digging a grave big enough for their bike. You could maybe, make a special reservation and, put it next to you. Then nobody gets it.
Who's going to fill it up with gas? Who's going to start?
It's true.
This way I have Rick Brown from Boardman, Ohio. Rick brought his 69, what color is this car?
Riverside Gold.
Riverside Gold Corvette.
Yeah.
This is back in the days when Corvettes were really nice, you know?
They were.
Uh-huh.
They were the high performance car and handling car of the era, although they do not handle like the new stuff.
Oh, no, not even close, no. Unless you update it, you know, a lot of guys do that.
Right. No, this one's all original.
Hmm. How long have you had it?
28 years.
Yeah, that's a good one, huh? So you got this at a pretty good price 28 years ago.
Yeah, I think it was about 14,000.
That's it.
Yeah, and which was a fair amount of money.
Well, back then, sure.
Back then, and that's I don't know for sure what it's worth now, but it's definitely worth more. And it's just a kind of a fun car to go out and go to car shows, meet people.
It's priceless to you, though, right?
Right.
Yeah. This is really nice. And what color we got here again?
Riverside Gold.
Riverside Gold. And what I like about these, you got both the front and the rear bumpers are chrome on them, which they eliminated in years to come.
Yeah, 72 would have been the last chrome bumper car. 73 was a kind of a hybrid. It had a chrome rear bumper and a rubber front nose, and then in 74 they was rubber front and back.
Mm-hmm. That's back in the days, like they were nice in the early 70s, and then they got all that EPA stuff, and it started ruining all the designs of the cars and all that, and the power in the cars and all that. And until about the mid 80s or early 90s, they start coming around again, you know.
Yeah, they did. This is 350 horsepower, and I think they got down to like 160 in the late 70s, early 80s.
Mm-hmm. Took everything away because of the EPA, all emissions and all that stuff.
Right.
But this is a nice, comfortable engine, huh? You got a 350.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, it's it has just a little bit of a rumble, and it goes good enough. And this isn't the kind of car that you really go out and beat on anymore. So
this is considered a small block then?
Yes.
Okay. If you had a big block in here, the car would probably double in price, right?
It would.
Oh,
it
yeah.
would.
That's what it was. The big blocks are like, oh my God, you paid an extra $500 for them or something back then.
I think that's about all.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden now they're like going through the roof. It'd probably be a $100,000 car.
Some of them are, yeah. And then they made a version called an L88, and it was I don't know how many they made. Very, very, very limited, and they're worth a lot.
Big bucks. So what do you think of the show today?
I think it's awesome. The weather couldn't be better. We haven't had a lot of good weekends this year,
right,
and
all the rain
it's just perfect. It's not too hot and no clouds.
No
nice.
clouds. Well, a couple here. I can't say that anymore. One day we were taping. I go, not a cloud in the sky, and in the back of me, all these clouds. My girlfriend made fun of me. She goes, look behind you, and I go, oh boy. I said,
you never know. The variety of cars here is amazing too. Amazing. I mean, it's a sea of cars from one end to the other. Just it's great.
They all have their own story too. You know that?
They do have their own story, and this Corvette has a story too. It was why I dated him. And now
you like that?
Almost 18 years later, it did its job.
It was like
now it's my car too.
Yeah, that's a Rick and Rick. The Rick and Rick show. How do you like that? Rick and Rick show.
So I'm here with Rocco. No, I'm here with Rocco's dad. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
John Caminetti.
John is here with Rocco, his son, and I just love, first off, I have to say, I saw him before I saw your car because he's so darn cute. And then he wears a dinosaur shirt, which I love, and it also matches the car. But we're over here to talk about the car, of course, and you've got a beautiful Hellcat here. It's a 2015, I believe, SRT. Tell me a little bit about, we see these cars a lot, but there's so many different variations. Why did you choose this one?
70s color was the first choice, and I just like the car. Yep. I'm a older Mopar guy, so I like the 70s cars, and this is why I chose this.
Do you feel that the newer generation lives up to the older generation?
I think it's more reliable, more performance, better stopping power, but I still like the old cars. But thankfully, I was able to get this.
Yeah. So, are you the original owner? Or did you buy it?
Yeah, I bought it new at Bob and Chuck Eddy in Austintown, Ohio.
Very nice. So I understand that it's a supercharged Hemi, and so it puts out quite a bit of power, which is what they're known for. But I gotta ask, what's your favorite feature about this car? Like, what if someone was debating, do I want to go Mopar? Do I want to buy this? Do I want to stick with the old school? Or do I want to go new school? What's something that would make them want to, go ahead and make that leap?
It's just the sure power. Just going down the road, you just feel like you're king.
Yeah. It's a heavy car too, so I feel like when you stomp on it, it's gonna stay. It's not gonna get too squirrely on you.
Well, 6-speed, no, but automatics, they're a little scarier. But
sure. And does Rocco like riding in it?
Yeah, all he says is more, Daddy.
Oh boy.
Do it again.
Okay. So that means he's in trouble. You've got a little speed demon on your hands, but that's okay. I could appreciate that. And do you think when people see this, do they ask you a lot of questions about it? Do they just kind of stare? I mean, first off, the metal flake, the sparkle that's in this paint is just gorgeous. It's something that you don't see until you get a little bit closer. But that green is just so much fun.
It is.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Well, I'm glad that you brought it out. And my other question is, I happen to like green. Any chance you're going to be selling it anytime soon?
Not at all.
Rats. Well, I thought I would try. I'm pretty sure he's going to get it.
He's going to get it.
Well, I hope he enjoys it as much as you do, and thank you so much for bringing it out.
Hey, I got Kevin Shaw with me. Kevin lives right up the road here in Canfield. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Very good, Kevin. Hey, Kevin brought his 1997
Pontiac Hearst Firebird.
Hearst Firebird, which is really unique because...
Well, there's only 9 of them made.
It's a Lincolnfelder.
It's a Lincolnfelder car, yes. It's car number 2 of 9 made.
Uh-huh.
I've only know 4 in existence. I don't know where the other 5 are remaining at. I know there's one on the West Coast, there's one in Canada, there's one in the Lincolnfelder collection, and then mine. That's it. That's all I know of. Yes. I'm sure there are other people's collection. I just don't know where they're at.
Lincolnfelder is popular basically for the Corvettes mostly,
yes,
right?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
So is this a Pontiac engine or is it a Corvette or Chevy?
It's a Chevy engine. It's a GM. It's like a Corvette motor. It's an LT4. That John Lincolnfelder actually reworked the motor. He dropped the motor, ported the heads, custom ground cam, custom throttle body. He did a lot of engine work to it. It's a very, very smooth motor. For a performance car, it's very smooth.
How many horsepower are we talking?
Well, in the time they said about 360, but some people claim that when these cars were dynoed, and I'm trying to get in touch with Lincolnfelder to get the dyno. They dynoed a little over 400, I was told, but I don't have no documentation to back up. I'm trying to get that documentation.
How's it run? Pretty good?
Very good. Very smooth. The motor is so smooth for performance engine. When you start rolling through the gears, you can actually feel the power band kick in on this car. It's very unique.
How about the tranny? They change the tranny in it or anything?
No, it has the Hearst shifter, of course, but it's a Hearst car. But no, I think it's a regular. It's the factory, what they put in the other cars. But
97 Firebirds. When did they stop making these?
Well, it was a lot. Well, they stopped making them in 2002, but it was the last year. 97 was the last year for the LT motor.
Okay.
And then in
LT motor was the Corvette motor, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And then in 98 they came out with the LS motor, and they actually did make some of these in 98. They made 10 or 11 of these in 98 with the LS motors, and that was it. That was all they made of them. When they were slated to make 50 of them, they ended up making 9.
You found this where, on Craigslist?
Actually, I found it on Facebook. One evening in December, I was just sitting home in my easy chair, flipping through Facebook, and seen some guy had a car for sale, and the dealership, and I thought, well, this can't be for real. It's got to be a clone or something,
Yeah.
And I called out the dealership the next day, and the guy said, no, it's the real deal.
And you're basically the first owner then?
Yes, the car was never titled. It was owned by another dealership in Indiana. And they never titled it because the guy who owned the dealership had the car collection, and they were liquidating his car collection.
pretty good. You got lucky there, huh?
Yes, I did.
How, you drive it often?
Not too often. It's not a daily driver. I have a couple more Trans Ams too. So
what do you got?
I have a competition Trans Am, which is one of 45 made in '96, and I have an NHRA TA, which is one of 145 made.
Wow, you got a nice little collection there, huh?
Yeah,
Some unique pieces, huh?
I got a Pontiac Solstice turbo car, and I got a 1930 Model
I
A.
almost bought one of those. I was looking at those.
Those are a fun little car.
Yeah.
I call it my motorcycle.
Oh.
So.
Okay, you call them okay.
Because I wanted to get a motorcycle. My wife said, "No, let's just get this," and she talked to us, which was a good thing.
Yeah, those are nice. So I almost bought one.
You know, it's a little turbo car. It's over 300 horsepower.
That's a turbo. 300. And how much that weigh? Not very much.
3,000. Believe it or not, they're heavy. These cars weigh about 3,600. The Solstice weighs about 3,000.
3,000?
Yes.
Where's all the weight at?
I don't know. If you look at them from the bottom, they look like a bathtub.
Getting into the music. Yeah. On street scene, we like to get some unique cars. Okay, usually they're older cars or something like this, but this is a newer one, a 2012
Panther Camaro.
Okay, and we got Kevin Baltus from Austintown, Ohio.
Yep.
A Panther Camaro.
Panther Camaro.
Tell me about this thing.
Well, in 1967, the Camaro was supposed to debut, but at that time it was called a Panther. They had actually changed the name right before production and dropped the Panther name, and it became a Camaro.
So how many of those did they produce? Did they produce any?
I think 50 of them were supposed to be going out the door, and they pulled the badges except for 2 of them. 2 of them actually got out.
So
I think there's one in Canada, and it still exists today.
So what's something like that worth?
Probably in the millions, I would think. It's just basically one of one.
So we're talking, if this car come out of the factory, the title had Chevy Panther on it.
Panther, right.
And that's the big buck title.
Right.
Well, if
And
you
they,
got that title with that on it, that's
correct.
the money.
They changed the name to Camaro as we know it today.
And this is what?
And this is a commemorative edition. General Motors licensed SLP to produce 100 of these cars. So they started in 2012. This is number 11. This is the last one they made for 2012. In 2013, they produced a few more, and then SLP merged with Hennessy. So there is no more SLP Industries.
Okay.
So
What's SLP stand for?
at that time, it was SLP Industries was Street Legal Performance.
Okay. Okay.
Like I said, they were able to produce 100, but they haven't. So it's a super rare car. It's basically an SS Camaro that's come down the line, and they do their unique features to it, the wheels, interior, engine. Of course, that supercharger's been added.
That's a beauty. 600 horsepower.
She is now, yeah, 600 horsepower. She's had a cam put in it. It's injected also. So now she produces the 600 horsepower as they advertise.
Wow.
Yeah, she's a lot of fun.
Did they do anything to the interior or anything, or is it pretty much
it's got
stock?
a unique interior.
Okay.
It's been redone. It's got, the Panther insignia on the seats.
That was the original insignia.
This is for SLP Industries.
Okay.
That's what they've created as far as their edition. But yeah, the badging, some other unique features.
So who sold these?
This one's out of Coughlin Chevrolet, Columbus, Ohio. They have a lot of unique vehicles down there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did they get an allotment? Did all these Chevy dealers around get one, or did they?
They probably pursued it. There's a couple dealerships that actually pursue the specialty vehicles, and they were one of them that went and found one.
So what are we talking price-wise on this, like in 2012?
This particular car was probably marked up another $35,000 for SLP's version.
So we're about.
So that's $75,000 new.
75 new.
Right.
And how's the market on them now?
They're so collectible. There's probably, I've seen one out there in the past year, and it was a hardtop car.
Oh, they made these in hardtop
They
also?
also made them in hardtop, right.
So-
But they're all black, the same, you know, pinstriping. That's actually, the hood's unique. That's actually a 700 horsepower hood that I was able to acquire from SLP. So it's got some unique features.
So you know what
to
they
it.
say, when the top goes down, the price goes up.
You think it would, right?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. What a beautiful car, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Rick.
This is great. This is great. I'm glad you showed up today with this. I was talking to you at the Supernats last week, I think it was.
Yeah, that's usually our once a year get together. I got
Yeah.
friends that come into town for that. We usually try to get time off to get there.
And I was amazed to see it then. I go, oh my God, look at this car. I never heard of it. And
Yeah.
we talked, and I ran into you today at our show, and it's nice you could
I
make it.
hadn't heard of one either, and then all of a sudden now it's, you know.
Are there any more around here, you know?
No, there's none around here. There was one up in Cleveland I seen about 4 years ago at the one of the Copo shows, but yeah, there's just not many out there at all.
This car is destined to be in a museum somewhere or somebody's collection somewhere. Huh?
It's in my collection.
Yeah.
It'll stay there.
What else
until
you have?
My days are gone. I've actually got that Carbon 65 edition Corvette next to it.
Lingenfelter.
Lingenfelter. Another, like an SLP Industries. Lingenfelter also does, you know, their mods on cars.
Sure. The 7th annual Street Scene Car and Custom Bike Show today. What a wonderful day, beautiful day.
It was a perfect day, and honestly, anyone that didn't come out, they missed a heck of a show.
Yeah, that's for sure. Perfect weather, just perfect everything. It was just a nice day just to talk with people. The people are just so friendly, so nice, and the car crowd, you know. And
They are. It's like a big family, and you know, it's one of those things where I was just having a discussion with somebody earlier that, you know, again, they just don't make cars the way that they used to anymore. And the passion and the blood, sweat, and tears that goes into building these and holding on to them. And each car has a story. Everybody has a really great, unique story. And of course, we appreciate hearing that, you know, because that keeps the enthusiasm alive.
Right,
You know?
you got that.
So it's a lot of fun.
You know, when I hear that they don't make cars like they used to, it's a good thing. You know that?
It is.
Because when I was growing up, cars at 100,000 miles, we were junking them. Okay, you were putting spark plugs in them every 20,000 miles, and the wires, and they weren't too well made. You know, like they were rusting like crazy, but they still do. But
They do, but you know, I think it's the design and
Sure,
the functionality of some of them.
Oh,
Everything now is a big computer.
Oh, yeah.
And the problem is, you know, I had the auto collision on my car go off in my truck, and we couldn't fix it. When you have something like this, if you've got a wrench and some wherewithal about you might be able to fix it and get it back on the
you
road.
don't need all the computers.
You know,
and
but
everything,
again, it's so great to be out here. We spoke with some fantastic individuals. We saw some really unique cars. There's everything from we had exotics show up. We had some rat rods. We had antiques,
and
collectibles,
some beautiful
one-offs.
motorcycles too. Yeah, Don't
And the
forget
motorcycles.
those.
I interviewed a guy, and I mean, wow, what an incredible! It was neat. So
Yes,
a lot
it
of fun.
was. Yes, it was. And next year we're going to have it at the same time, hopefully the same date. Stay tuned to Armstrong Cable. We'll let you know for sure. But
absolutely.
I'm Rick Guerrera.
And I'm Krista Sylvester, and we'll see you
down the road.